There's a major flood disaster in the Northern Territory's top end this hour. Floodwater is entering Katherine town centre and overwhelming the levee system. Olivana Lathuris joins us now from Darwin. Oli, we've just had an update from emergency services. What is the latest?
Well, Jeremy, beginning with that news about the Katherine levee system, this was a levee that was built back in 2022. It stretches along the eastern side of the Katherine town toward the Stuart Highway, the main highway connecting Katherine, to other areas of the Northern Territory. And up until this point, it has been keeping quite a large volume of water out of the town centre. But as the Katherine River continues to sort of creep up to its peak level, we are now seeing that levee system become overwhelmed and water starting to gush from the direction of that levee system. And that could have quite significant impacts and already is impacting businesses and infrastructure around the centre of the Katherine town. Already, Katherine has been experiencing widespread flooding, significant impacts to residents and homes in that area. During the last update from emergency services, we heard that the river is expected to peak at around 19.2 metres sometime over the coming hours. That is higher than the levels reached in 2006 during the last major flooding event that Katherine experienced. The other community which is sort of yet to feel the full extent of this flood disaster is the community of Daly River Now You, which is located in the northwest of the top end of the Northern Territory. That community is being evacuated today. Emergency services told us that the river there is rising extremely rapidly, faster than expected. It is expected to exceed a major flood level of 14 metres tonight and will continue to rise over the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, other small remote communities, for example, the community of Palumpa, is also experiencing major flooding. The airstrip there is being used to evacuate residents via air, with some residents even needing to be winched to safety via helicopters. During that update that we had from emergency services earlier today, our Chief Minister, Leah Finocchiaro, did provide an update. Here's a little bit of what she had to say about Katherine.
We are really pleased to report that we're seeing the river level drop slightly at Nipmaluk, but it will still peak, the Katherine River will still peak at 9.2 later this afternoon. We have 377 people in Katherine who have now taken shelter. We've had 20 people access the emergency department that we stood up in collaboration with St John's yesterday. That has been really effective.
Leah Finocchiaro there, the NT Chief Minister. Ollie, what is the damage from this rainfall and flooding expected to be like?
Well, Jeremy, even just looking at some of the vision that's coming out of some of these areas, Katherine, for example, the damage is going to be widespread. Certainly many people's homes will be badly impacted, and now, of course, pending the situation with the Katherine levee, it's looking as though businesses in the CBD could be impacted as well. Certainly for the community of Now You Daly River, homes again will be impacted. Emergency services told us that this flooding disaster is going to be quite significant for that town. Residents there have only just gotten home after being evacuated just a few weeks ago due to flooding, and now they're being evacuated for a second time, and it's looking as though this second round of flooding could be even worse than the first. So it's certainly going to be a very long road to recovery for many communities in the top end.
There's already been some quite significant rainfall, and the Bureau is saying that there could be more bad weather on the way for some of these communities.
Yeah, certainly. It's been an incredibly wet season, wetter than what you might sort of normally expect for this time of year. We've had multiple lows. The one that has really been bringing a lot of this wet weather over the last couple of days is now moving along the west coast of the Northern Territory. So those sort of prolonged periods of heavy rain are easing. But we have heard from the Bureau of Meteorology that thunderstorms are expected tonight, and that could deliver isolated isolated rainfall to a number of areas, and the impact of that is expected to be that it will just prolong the period of these river peaks. And so, although it may not cause any renewed rises in river levels, it will prolong the amount of time that communities will be having to deal with these significant flood conditions.